ईश्वर सत्य है, सत्य ही शिव है, शिव ही सुंदर है। सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरम्।
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Trauma Talk Thursdays, Season 2, Episode 7. And here we go. Tonight, we have a very, very special guest and a very, very special show for you tonight. Because, we bring trauma, right? And from trauma, there's something major that a lot of people do not do. And they keep moving on in life. That is called heal. Yep, it's about healing. And our amazing guest tonight is going to speak to you about healing. All right. So I hope all my amazing Rastas and Brittany Purrs Obscuram Nights had an amazing week so far. Who did not look back at last week's episode or listen to last week's podcast on Trauma Talk Thursdays with our guest Nina? I think you should. I had to actually speak to someone this week who had a similar story and tell them, did you see that or did you listen? And they were like, no. And they got on it because of their experience. You see, on this podcast, we highlight the need of daily mental health state of mind where you can actually stand for yourself and manage your daily mental health. To understand that you are not alone and the things that you go through, millions go through it in a similar way, but in a different way as well. And each one of you that goes through your trauma or the different types of slaps that mental health hit you down with, I'm telling you, give yourself a pat on the back because you did great to be where you are today. You brought yourself from yesterday to today. You have overcome some really tough challenges in your life. And I'm telling you, give yourself a pat on the back. Tell yourself thank you, love you, appreciate you. Because without you, you couldn't have done it. Remember that. Some of you have pulled yourself through some very dark moments. I'm telling you, I believe that by listening to other people's stories, it plays a very important role in people's lives because they would get to understand, whoa, if Brittany Purr can do it, I can do it too. If Ra can do it, I can do it too. If our amazing guests that we have sitting backstage tonight can do it, I can do it too. And you know what I say every week, right? When you sit down and you sulk and you cry and you go into depression, you lose your time, your precious time that is limited here for you to make magic happen with your own life. And when you lose that time and you look back, there's no way, nowhere in this lifetime that you will ever get that time back. You ever sat and look at a movie and 2 hours pass and the movie is over and you ask yourself, why did I just waste 2 hours of my life? But think about this. That's exactly when you're depressed and you're down and out and you miss work or you miss being around your friends and family and you just close up in a room and you're just there. That place that you go into, I understand. But the time that you spend there not being able to heal and not looking to find a way out, but just being stuck, that time could never come back for you. And this is where I want to do this at this time is introduce the most beautiful woman on Trauma Talk Thursdays, my co-host. Yep, Brittany Purr. And we're not just trying to say that Susie is not beautiful too. She's
Susie is
amazingly beautiful.
gorgeous. Lattery, oh my gosh. I do not need to grow any sort of ego, but thank you. I always appreciate you, Raw, and thank you for doing this week after week. High, low, whatever is going on in your life, you've been committed and laser focused on creating a shift in the world. And I feel, as I just breathe in today, I feel like that shift is finally tipping the scales after years and years and years of championing mental health. The time is now where people are really beginning to search for it. So before I go on a little bit, and before I segue over to you again, please share this forward with someone that needs it. As you go through this, I know within my soul that something is going to resonate with you tonight, especially with our speaker who has been through so much. And I feel it that someone in your life needs this story, or maybe has needed one of the past stories. But tonight, I just feel it that someone really needs to hear what our speaker is going to be sharing tonight, because it covers several different areas that I just know someone's going through right now. And, you know, this is not for us to hide away from others. This is for us to share forward and get open, get vulnerable, and get supported with whatever we are going through in our lives. So just a reminder, share it forward to someone that needs to hear these messages today.
Thank you, Brett. And this is so true. I'm telling you, week after week, I tell people all the time, share it so the right person will be able to hear it. You know what I mean? So just before I brought you up, I was adding in the story of when you lose time with depression. And I want to tell you, some people as well, they sit back and wait for things to happen. And when it's not happening, they are sad, they cry, they are disappointed, a lot of different things, and it sends them into bad places.
Mhm.
But if they remember, one thing Ra says week after week, what is meant for you shall never pass you by, and what passes you by was never meant for you. So don't dwell on that door that's closed. Look at the ones that's surrounding you that's open and try and walk through those rather than try and pulling on the handle of the one that's shut and cannot be opened back. All right? And with that being said, Brett, before I give you the stage, I want to ask you, how was your week so far?
It has been a wild week of just like, summer is around the corner and summer is going to be summering. So it's going to be fast paced. It's going to be a lot. And I'm really excited for our stage events. So gearing up for that and yeah, getting my ducks in a row. I think that's been the biggest part of my week, is getting really organized and laser focused, which, you know, we talked about that earlier where I was like, I need to get organized on this.
Well, I'll just add in there quickly because I was waiting for you backstage and you were looking out for the link, and I don't know what happened, but I had two little positive news. We found hotels basically that's reasonable for the speakers that we were looking for, and then that's a plus. And then we had the other thing I was telling you about for the dinner for the Thursday night. I just got back with those people who want to collab with us rather than we have to pay or get money out of our pockets. They, as long we going to put them up on Trauma Talk Thursdays, and we're going to advertise them as well. They're on board with us. So that was such a plus. Just before I got onto the show, they sent me a message. So they're going to send me the breakdown of what they can do for us at that and what we can do for them. So,
oh, that's exciting.
When you said everything is aligning, and plus we want to welcome everyone who is joining in. We're making you guys part of our community, as Brittany says every week. We have Geneva always here, and Jenny, we can't wait to see you on June 12th. Okay, and then we have Robert, Pauline, my aunt is here. Good night, everyone. Gitesh, Dharam, good night to you. And all right, so all who is looking on, thank you all for looking on, and we look forward to hear what Brittany has to share tonight.
Yep. All right. So let's talk about that whole idea of FOMO, or fear of missing out, as Ra ended his talk. When a door closes, stop trying to pry that door open. Stop trying to go after that door. Stop trying to scratch at it and all those other things, because you miss the other doors or the other opportunities that are open for you, or even the window. When their door is closed, there's always a window. Not always, but oftentimes there is that window of opportunity that is there if we're not so laser focused on the door that has been closed and locked. And that has kind of been a bit of a theme for the week and for the past few weeks, is letting go. Being able to let go, to let in. If something is not working, there is no point in forcing or coercing it. There is another way, or there's another mindset, or there's another opportunity around the corner. And it's like this with our workshop that happened last week. I don't think I shared on this here, but some people are like, well, I don't have the money for this, so I can't do it, but I really, really want to do it, and I just wish I could. And one of the things that I've been blessed to do is figure out a way to be sponsored. And that's completely out of the box, instead of just going, well, I can't afford it. You know, I've been down on my luck with financials before, and I know how that feels. But I also know when there's a will, there's a way. And I believe I said this last week, when there's a will, there's a way. And that's a line from my childhood that I decided to fully embrace and be like, I've seen this on TV a lot, so I'm going to make that as one of my beliefs. And I'm going to be strong-willed. Of course, it's not fun when you're dealing with a strong-willed child, but don't crush their spirit, because that is the way through. But it's, once again, it's not an authoritarian way of being. It's not forcing. It's not having to do these mental gymnastics to be in power or to, make people fear you. It's to walk in peace, to know that, hey, if that's not for me, it's okay. I know a different way. Like, there are so many possibilities out there for each and every one of us to make our dreams, our ideas a reality. It's just a matter of sometimes letting go of what it exactly has to look like, and letting in, okay, this kind of fulfilled that. Let's dial this in a little bit better on the manifestation aspects of what I'm doing. Let's maybe get some feedback on different aspects of what didn't work, and let's focus on what worked. Let's focus on what is working. Let's focus on that so that we can embrace more of that, instead of focusing on what's not working, aka that closed door, and having that cloud our expectations, cloud our perspectives, and cloud our understanding of the world. Because you can be locked in your room, let's say in depression, and you miss the flowers that are blooming outside. You miss the butterflies fluttering around. You miss these awe-filled moments. And yes, depression is, it's something that is very challenging. It's not something that's like smile or just get outside. No, it's like crawling out of the abyss. But there are ways. There are ways to get through it. And sometimes it's medical intervention. That's an opportunity too. So I'm never going to discount someone for doing what they need to do to take care of themselves. But always know, no matter what, just plug this into your psyche, that there are endless opportunities. There are endless pathways to meet that point of where you want to go. You just have to want it enough to make it there and be in integrity with yourself, in alignment with your values. And with that, I think this is a great segue for Ra to come back up, and our speaker is going to share on some amazing things around a lot more than that. So I'm really excited.
Well, I love, 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 love all that you add in there because just as we speak, and this past week, I went through knowing that we have the conference, which we will play the ad right now. As you saw in the beginning, it slapped in there where we are looking for speakers to come and tell their story on Broadway in a theater in New York City, you know, and by telling this is like I put it back and I reflected on what was wrong, what was right last year, what was working, what wasn't working. So you must reflect in order. And then I saw this comment come up here. The same thing. There's this one. There are people who will make the same mistakes over and over and over and never learn. I don't understand that. You know what I mean? The first time I did this conference in 2023, I learned so much from it because there was so many hiccups, so many hurdles, and it wasn't even what I wanted, you know? So I learned from it. Then we did last year and we put together exactly what we want, but we know where we got support from and where we need to look for support. So I learned a lot from that. And this is something people need to understand. You have to reflect what went wrong. That's why I tell you the word failure is there. It is a word. It has a meaning. But what really is a failure when you're working towards what you want? When you're stepping up that ladder of success and you have to pause on that ladder for a while, that's not you being a failure. That's you taking your time to take that next step up. So you have to keep believing in yourself that you can raise your foot from one step, one ladder to the next. And with that being said, I think we would have other special guest coming up in a few weeks, because when she sent me her story of what happened to her, how simple it was, and where she ended up in a wheelchair, and how resilient she is. And when you hear her story of not giving up, that's the ladder I'm talking about. Slowly, you got to move your foot up to the next level. You do that. And that means you're going up your success ladder. That means you believe in you and it's working for you. But you must reflect how you got up there from that first step when you couldn't make it at times. To take that first step, you got to reflect on what were the challenges in between the steps to get up every time and climb your successful ladder. And I'll say this, as we always say this week after week, and today is living proof of it, Brittany. And you know that. When God cannot come, he sends. And today he sent us an amazing guest because last minute, our scheduled guest actually canceled. So I am so grateful. And this person is a holistic healer. And her title goes beyond. But today we won't read her bio. We want her to tell you about her. So let's introduce our amazing guest tonight, Linda Joy Benn.
Ah, thank you so much, Brittany and Ra. Thank you for having me, and hello to your beautiful audience. It's a pleasure to be here.
We are grateful and we appreciate you so much for doing this for us today and last minute and using your time, especially time is precious. You know, there's a movie, I think it was Limitless or one or not. No, Limitless is with the brain. But there's another one where they pass the timer on their, they can buy food, they can do anything with the time on their hands. That it's digital. When that time runs out, you're dead. So time is precious. All
Mhm.
right. So Linda, why don't you tell
Yeah.
them a little bit about who you are before we give you the stage?
So who I am today is now. Yes, okay. I'll go with the script of holistic healer, transformational catalyst, and but really, I'm here to do God's work to remind individuals who they truly are as a soul. And in the work I do, it's really just realigning, empowering them to realign back to their soul's mission and their soul's purpose, because every single soul on this planet is just remembering how powerful and magnificent they truly are. But when we came here, we all have stories and we all go through different traumatic events in order for our soul to learn and grow and be stronger and more courageous. And those skills is what our soul helps us to evolve as a soul. And through the process, that's where we really truly step into our power, our magnificence, our brilliance, our genius, and really step into the unlimited, multidimensional, amazing beings that we are. And so really what I do is just remind individuals how amazing they really truly are.
Wow,
Mm.
that is beautiful. So, Brittany, you have anything to ask her at this moment?
I think that's amazing. I'm really excited, Linda, for you to take the stage because your story is incredible. And I want you to have as much time as possible to share it with our audience
Mm.
tonight. So thank you again for stepping in on short notice and perfect timing, right? Like divine order, how this happened and worked out. So
Mm.
thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Brittany.
you. Thank
And
you.
before we give the stage
Okay.
to Linda,
Yes.
everyone, please show Linda some love and good good luck, Linda.
Thank you. So hello everyone. As like you, everyone has a story, and through our life, we go through these significant emotional events in order for our soul to learn and grow. And my story, well, I was born in Australia and I chose in this life a family that had persecuted me in several other past lives for teaching my spiritual beliefs. And so this life I came in as very different to them, and I couldn't understand why they were so different, nasty, because I was just coming from this place of love and joy, and isn't life beautiful? Though it was quite a toxic, abusive upbringing, and my older sister, well, both sisters, and my mother really didn't enjoy having me around. And so by the time I was 21, I created cancer because I had pushed down so much emotional pain of being ostracized and rejected and abandoned. And I couldn't understand why they treated me the way that they treated me. And there's lots of other stories up until that moment. But it was when I was 21 that I met my spiritual teacher, and it was actually in San Jose, California. So after school, I worked and I saved up to go on a backpacking walkabout, and that walkabout around the world was 3 years. But before leaving Australia, I went to the doctor just to get everything checked, and that's when I was diagnosed. Obviously, the doctor didn't want me to leave Australia, and I went, no, I have planned and saved for this trip, and I'm going, because I bought a one-way ticket to London. And also, part of me knew that I would find answers during my travels, and it was in San Jose that I synchronistically met my spiritual teacher. So that was in 1990. He helped me to understand why I created the cancer and all the emotional pain that I had pushed down, but also helped me to understand the mind, body, spirit connection and what my purpose in this life was, and also all the roles of my family and the roles that they were playing. And this helped me to change my perspective from victim to empowerment, going, oh, we're all here playing a role. So instead of they did it to me and poor little old me, it was like I had an agreement to come in as their daughter or sister, and they would be as nasty as they could and gaslight, blame, throw me under the bus, and I was the scapegoat, in order for me to do the work that I do today. And also what it's taught me is unconditional love and acceptance for myself. So instead of looking to external world or looking to my family to love and accept me, well, then it's my lesson was to love and accept myself. So as a soul, we all come in to learn different lessons. And so through my journey, and there's been many, many different traumatic events. And in the short time I have tonight, I won't have time to go through all of them, but I've nearly lost my life and been killed several times. But in regards to family dynamics and relationships, that's the area that a lot of people, I feel, are triggered, and that's what will cause a lot of mental health. And what this does is cause illness and disease, like I created cancer in my body. And so from meeting my spiritual teacher and spending 6 months learning from him, that's what healed my cancer. Medication free. It was really changing my perspective and looking at things from a different outlook and understanding what my role in this life was. So that put me on my holistic health path of studying, learning, and a lot of healing, because I was still recovering. And meanwhile, my family hasn't changed, and they still haven't changed today. But through everything that I've learned, and the strength and the courage and the resilience that I've learned in my life, I'm now able to be neutral when around them and not be triggered or not allow them to disempower me. So I started my business in treating clients, and that started from the body work, energy work, healing, workshop facilitation, and then training, traveling around the world, teaching a healing modality that shifts consciousness, expands awareness, connects all 12 strands of DNA, and lots of different personal development workshops and retreats. And I felt that in Australia, I felt like a big fish, and everyone kind of said, oh, that's woo woo, that's woo woo. And I went, right, I need a bigger audience. So in 2010, I moved to California, not knowing anyone, and started my business all over again. And in that time, I was this bright light, so excited and very enthusiastic. I just felt unstoppable and fearless. And I was going to all these networking events and meeting lots of people and making new friends. And there was one particular lady who befriended me, and this was another significant event which I will share, because this actually nearly took my life. And if there's anyone out there who has been drained by other people, or been in relationships that are narcissistic, or had it's like energy vampires, or even had entities or fear entities attached. Some people call them demons, but I'll just call them entities, where you've just lost yourself. And so this lady, who turns up as a spiritual teacher, befriends me, and she was always wanting to hang around and catch up and come to everything that I went to. And I didn't realize that she was feeding off my energy. I thought we were equal colleagues. But after 5, 6 years of living in the US, it was like, wow, okay, I've moved house many times. And she said to me, oh, you came to America with so much light, but now your light's gone out and it's dim. And I went, oh, wow, okay. And so I was giving her my power and also paying her. And she was the one who suggested I move back to Australia, because that would be much better for me. And so that in that process of moving back to Australia, which I really didn't want to do, but again, I gave my power away, and I didn't realize she was feeding off my energy. And this has been a big lesson, but also what I've learned from it, and it'll never happen again. And this is why I'm sharing this story with you, to empower you. If there are any people in your life that you feel that are draining your energy, or putting you down, or judging you, or saying little snide remarks, that's a red flag. But then there's also the love bombing and the narcissistic behavior that's another red flag. So what happened is, I came back to San Francisco to get my stuff out of storage. She invites me to a plant medicine ceremony and said, I'll pick you up from the hotel and I'll drop you back. I'd never done plant medicine. I'd heard lots about it, and people having amazing experiences. So I thought, right, okay, I'm up for it. And again, on an energetic level, I gave her permission and went along, not knowing that she has a contract with a demon, that if you collect me enough souls, I'll set you free. In that ceremony, I felt cut off. It's like my soul was shattered. And after that experience, I went back to Australia and I just didn't feel the same. And even my friends that have known me for years just went, what happened? And I didn't realize it at the time, but I spiraled down, and I was getting sicker and sicker physically. In the medical realm, I was given lots of labels, and autoimmune was one of them, and chronic fatigue, and adrenal burnout, and also fatty liver. Even though I didn't drink alcohol, it was like every organ and system was shutting down. I lost so much weight that my hip dislocated, my knee dislocated. I was stick thin and very, very sick, and had no energy, flat out getting off the couch because I was so fatigued. And when I went and saw my spiritual teacher, she just went, oh my God, what are you doing? You're committing energetic suicide. And I went, yeah, I know, I feel exhausted. And she said, do you know who you are as a soul? And I went, yeah. But, and she said, if you end this contract, the next one will be 10 times worse. And that was my motivation to heal my body. And it was like, okay, how do I pick myself up from rock bottom? And I was in the pit. I like, my liver was functioning at 38%. I lost eyesight in my left eye. I was not in good physical shape, mentally, emotionally. I was suicidal. And from that moment on, that's when I started my healing process. And that's where I asked my spirit universe, my guides, like, help me to heal my body. And that's when the BENN method came through, or balance, energy, nurture and nourish. And I had to follow my own steps bit by bit, and I healed my body medication free, much to my doctor's dismay and upset, because I was non-compliant to taking the medication, though it took some time. And I just bit by bit, and it was all about just keep using all the tools. But let me just backtrack. When I felt cut off, that's when I consciously went, I made the decision, if I'm not here to share my gifts with the world, what's the point of being here? And so consciously I made that choice. But making that choice, I also lost my will to live. So anyone who's going through mental health, it is a choice, because we all have free will. But really, this life that we are given, and what we chose to come here and play on this playground, is such a magnificent, magical opportunity. And there's so many beautiful brothers and sisters around us to support us on this journey. No one is ever alone. And it's really just putting up your hand and saying, I need help, and who can help me? And then reaching out to those that you feel safe with. And so through this healing process, which took several years, it was like gathering up my shattered soul and all the pieces and bringing it all back into alignment, back to who I truly was and am, as a spirit, as a soul, and I'm back on my soul's mission and purpose. And so when I say that this is what I empower others to do, it doesn't matter what label you've been given from the medical realm, because everyone has the ability to heal themselves. I had to go through my experience to prove that I can heal my body naturally, medication free, but also healing from something traumatic like the energy vampires, or having an entity attached to you. It's very traumatic. But it's about knowing the tools and having support in order to actually be able to burn off, pull off, and bring in whatever tools in order to bring you back to your core, back to your heart, back to your soul of who you truly are. Because, and also believe, as a soul, no one can hurt you, harm you, or destroy you. And so we are all tested on this journey, and we go through these events, because coming out the other side right now, it's like I am stronger, more resilient, more, I am so on track, because it's like, and I actually energetically thank this lady, because on some level we had an agreement and a contract that she would do this to me. But she did it for me so that I can now help millions of people around the world. And that's why I created my BENN Method Academy, in order to teach all the tools that I've been gathering for the last 35 years, and lots of all my studies, not just from my teacher in this life, but many, many past lives. I've brought all that through, and it's really empowering individuals that you have all the answers within you, you have the power within you, and the body has the ability to heal itself. And so, doesn't matter what is going on in your life, you can transform it into what you choose. And really, that's my message. I've gone through lots of health issues, as well as sexual abuse, as well as a toxic family, as well as traveled around the world and nearly been killed. But when you have faith and trust that you're protected, you are safe, and it's this knowingness and belief in yourself. And once you just use your daily tools, and each day is another adventure. And how I help my clients is, it's like, just keep jumping out of bed and going, wow, I feel fantastic. I love my life. I have the best life. And that's how you just jump up every day with your mojo, with energy, with excitement, to see what magic and miracles will unfold throughout the day, because everyone that comes into our life is a mirror for us, and we have attracted them into our life for us to learn and grow. So thank you.
Wow, Linda, amazing. That, like, I speak about a soul all the time because I'm a Krishna believer, and I believe the soul always came with a journey. But I think you did it a little too short, so let's add some chill into it. So I had a question that I wrote after I wrote your read your bio early on. So I still put it together, and I still think it can come in together. So I would think, like, what strategies do you recommend for individuals who feel disconnected from their own inner selves and a struggle to
Mm,
find balance in their daily lives? How can the BENN
mm.
method really help them reclaim that sense of purpose and vitality?
So, well, the 4 steps of the BENN method is balance, energy, nurture, and nourish. And so it all starts with the relationship with yourself and loving you. So having a daily practice, and I always recommend having a morning routine, having a and you can block it out in your calendar. That's your quiet time, starting with meditation, and then some kind of movement, journaling, if you want to do some kind of exercise. But when you're having that quiet time, and even before you get out of bed, because your thoughts first thing in the morning set the tone for the rest of the day. So when you're in that waking up state, that is the perfect time just to really breathe, come into feel your heart and feel your body. You can scan your body. You can say out loud or to yourself, thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you. And what magical moments will occur today. And I'm so grateful for all these infinite opportunities that will unfold today. And so you can mentally just prepare yourself for a magical day ahead, because what that will do is lift your energy vibration, and then that's what you put out in the day. So gratitude, and then grounding is really good. I recommend bare feet on the grass, or depending on the weather and where you are living in the world, just sending a grounding cord down from the base of your spine. And what I like to do is make a big, thick grounding cord, the size of your hips, and then it's like the trunk of the tree, and you send that down, and you can wrap it around the core of the earth, but I like to send roots down so it wraps all the way around the earth, and then feel the Mother Earth, Gaia, unconditional love energy. And then you can just suck that up through the soles of your feet and just breathe that in. So simple breathing techniques are fantastic to set you up for the day. And plus, you can do these simple exercises throughout the day as well. And when you just visualize sucking up the earth energy, it's like sucking up liquid in a straw. You may visualize or feel or see a color, and the color may change as it moves up through your feet and legs, and just keep breathing that up into your body, connecting at your heart center, and then breathing in and out of your heart center to expand your heart, and then connect with the cosmos at the top of your head. Open up, bring through pure source energy down through the top of your head, and then coming and connecting with your heart as well. And just spending some quiet time, just breathing in and out of your heart and feeling just so much gratitude and peace and love and joy, and just giving yourself that self-love and acknowledging yourself and everything that you are now, everything you have learned up to this point, and just give thanks and gratitude to all your helpers in spirit who are protecting you, keeping you safe, and love you so much, that they are with you. And when you can just ask, it's a bit like Abraham Hicks, ask and you shall receive. They're waiting to help you. So this is where we have so much support from not just we've got our galactic friends and lots of different galaxies, but the archangels, ascended masters. There's so many beautiful angels all around us, helping and guiding us every step of the way. We're never alone. And feeling that energy just moving through our body, and feeling the love in your heart, and with the heart coherence, this is where it will just keep expanding. And so I know that's a very long-winded question or answer to your question, Ra, but I hope that helped give a little bit. That's just the morning routine.
Actually, I am so happy because I use some of those things. And not only that, this is not the first, it was just a reminder that I heard this before. And it is called the BENN Method. And it's beautiful. I love it. And Brittany Purr has to leave, so I think she has to ask you some questions. She has like 12 minutes and she has to step out for a meeting. So, but before we do that, I just want to acknowledge everyone who is here today, Brittany, because oh my God, we have Donna May who is looking at us from the Philippines week after week. Donna wakes up and get on to see Trauma Talk Thursday. Donna, we love you and we appreciate you. We have Jenny. Welcome, Linda. This is beautiful. We have Ms. Viva saying, I am sure they didn't know how to treat themselves with love. That's when he was telling your story. So sad. Then we have Freddie saying, hello, hello. We end up with, when you were talking about the demons, we have Dr. Cecilia Hawkins is here. Good night and blessings. Tamara Patrick, such an amazing soul. If you need any sort of support, let me tell you, she's a bandwagon by herself that will support an entire team on her shoulders. And hats off to you, Tamara Patrick, for being that beautiful person you are inside and showing it outside as well. Thank you so much for always supporting us. So we have also Julie, we have Geneva is saying spiritually, we all chose our life experience. When we born, we forget our choice we make. I love it. I love it. And Jenny, again, thank you always for being here. This is so
Mhm.
true. Then it says, if you know Buddhism, it's all the same.
Mhm.
Here it says, a lot of people don't even the soul within their life. They don't even know, I'm guessing, the soul.
Mhm.
Tamara Patrick, whoa. Okay, some of the comments are
Mhm.
hidden. Okay. We are all here to live the life our soul chose. Amazing. You have Donna telling you it's very informative. Thank you, Linda. And we got again.
Mm.
Thank you. This is a beautiful, I felt it. And I'm being honest too. I myself, when you were doing it and telling you to put it through and put your heart and feel it from in your heart, you was actually doing it. It was actually like you were here, like I don't know what you were doing. You were like really charming us into something. And we have awesome, so good. Whoa, so amazing. Much love, Roth. Thank you. So Brittany, for you can
Mhm.
ask your question and have a little discussion.
Well, first off, Linda, thank you for those gems of wisdom for the morning routine, because that is valuable. As Ross said, like I feel like you're charming as well. You gave us gold right there. So thank you for that and for supporting our audience on
My pleasure.
creating that shift in their mornings. So I do
Mm.
have a few questions, and
Mm.
first one, I know that Australia has a little bit of a spiritual significance about a walkabout. So can you share or unpack a little more about that?
Well, we have our native tribes called Aboriginals, and so they have their teachings where they're so connected to the earth. It's like looking up at the stars and they can tell you the weather, looking at the clouds, they can tell you what's going to happen, knowing the weather patterns, feeling into the earth. And this is the teachings from the Aboriginals are also good for us as individuals to respect all our animals, respect their environment. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, I've always wanted to come to Australia, but you have all those poisonous animals there," and it's like, yeah, but they don't really hurt you. You know,
Mhm.
you respect their the spiders, the snakes, the sharks, you know where they are, but it's like you respect their environment, and it's just being polite, and you know, you don't barge into someone's house uninvited. So again, that's the same when with animals, but the Aboriginal teachings, they have a lot of different sacred ceremonies, which, you know, we will you have to be invited. Like, it's not just something that you know, you can turn up and go, "Hey, I want to join in." It's very sacred. And so what was your other question? So,
So the significance about the walkabouts.
well, it's just following your soul's mission and purpose. Just go where it feels good. Make your choices that make you feel strong, that feel good, because every day when we wake up, we get to make a new choice. And it's like you can keep doing the same thing and getting the same result. And this is, you know, one of the things I teach is, you know, breaking those habits. It's like, what's your ideal day look like? And what about when you're in that quiet time? And it's like, oh, I feel like just walking to this park that I've never seen, or I'm going to go and discover this and go on a walkabout. Because when you allow yourself just to go on a walkabout, you are a free spirit, and you are just allowing your soul to be guided by spirit instead of coming from your head and going, oh, I've got this to do and this and this and this at this time and this time and this schedule and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, and the whole day back to back. It's like, just go outside and just go, oh, what a beautiful tree, or look at this beautiful flower, or I'm just going to walk down the road and just see who I run into, or what, because again, energetically, what energy you're putting out, you're going to attract amazing people into your life, or amazing, beautiful animals, or different experience. And it's like, wow, isn't it just magnificent? And that's how life is on a daily basis. It's one big adventure, because this earth is one big playground for us all to play. And we came here to play and enjoy and remember who we truly are as a soul. No one put up their hand and go, I choose to suffer and struggle in this life. It's like when we were born as little babies, we were all just happy and joyful and going and going and laughing and screaming. And, we were free. It's like, wow! So what happened where all these conditions, and we dumbed ourselves down and then numbed out all the pain with substances and abuse, and just kept numbing out and numbing out. And it's like, well, who are you, and who are you being, and how do you show up in the world, and who are you becoming now that you have let all that go? And now who are you? And we all, through all the significant emotional events and the trauma and everything that everyone goes through, well, at the end of the day, you're here now, and that's what counts, and that's what's important. So when it comes to a walkabout, well, I encourage everyone just to go for a walkabout and see where they're led, and just allow themselves to go and explore all those adventures ahead, and just open yourself up to all the amazing things that are waiting for you.
Amazing. I love that. And the chat is going off. I love it. So Sweetie says, very true. Let me see. And law of attraction. Jenny says, be one with nature. Bila says, yes, life is a fun thing and you don't need to hurt anyone else. Just live happy together. Asian supporting mental health. As my colleague said only yesterday, smoke some weed and chill, relax, and allow the beautiful energy to enter. And Tamara says, life is fun and we all need to take advantage of it. So that definitely struck a chord. And what came through for me is choice is a superpower. Live life to the fullest and bring back that childlike wonderment at the everyday
Yes.
things. And one other thing came up, which was, oh no, I forgot it. Oh man, it was a good one. But apparently
Because
not meant.
things happen for us, not to us.
Exactly.
And so when things happen, it's like, well, thank you for this lesson, because we have a choice how we respond or react to it. And so it's like, even a trigger, if someone projects or triggers you or pushes a button, it's like, okay, I have a choice if I react or with my emotional pain, or just go, okay, I'll just remain neutral, because for them to project, it's like, send them love, because hurt people, or
Yep.
try to hurt people. But if you don't react and you just respond with love and compassion, then it's like the energy's cut. It's like there's no power in that. There's no energy. It's like there's and they'll go find someone else.
It's so that like you brought up the true meaning of surrender. It's not giving up, it's going with flow.
Yeah.
And that was what I wanted to also touch on too for people, because I think that is a huge aspect. It's not like you fought cancer, you understood it. you understood what was happening with your body. You understood your body. You went deeper than that to understand, like, what is this human experience? What is the soul? What is energy at its essence? And I think your story is just so powerful and so moving. And yes, it's woo woo, but this woo woo actually has a lot of scientific backing. It's just a matter of connecting the dots. So it's like the placebo effect is real. The first time I heard about this idea of mind over matter, in essence, was actually from a chemist that I knew, where she was like, I never get sick. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, I don't believe in getting sick. I was like, excuse me, you're a chemist? You're a chemist. You're in the sciences. What? Oh, okay. All right. Maybe there's something about this. So
Exactly. Because we're all responsible for our own immune system. And when people go, oh, I don't want you to catch a cold. Well, no, I'm responsible for my immune system, and I keep my immune system strong and healthy and resilient. So it's like, yeah, I'm not going to catch anything.
So before I head out, can you tell us where our guests, our viewers can find you, our community can find you and connect with you?
So the easiest way is on my website, which is lindabenn.com. And then there's more information about the BENN Method Academy, which is open to participants to join that. And also grab one of the free gifts there. There's a bunch of free gifts that they can get on the website, and then they will be on my mailing list if they choose. There's also a burnout quiz that they can answer, so that'll give them an assessment, and also I do a one-to-one call after the burnout quiz. So if that's of interest to someone, they can do that. There's an adrenal meditation there. There's a rewire your brain ebook. There's a lot of different resources on my website, so that would be the easiest. Also all over social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta, TikTok. So just Google my name and you can find me, and let's keep in touch, and happy to have a conversation with your audience in order to support them. So thank you, Brittany, and thank you, Ra, for having me.
I'm going to spell that out real quick. So Linda's website is lindabenn.com. And before I go, because I'm going to jump off right after asking this question, what is one thing that you feel our audience, our community needs to hear?
Believe in yourself. Trust yourself. You have all the answers within you, and do not ever, ever, ever give your power away to anyone. Doesn't matter if they've got 15 PhD or they call themselves all these whatever. You have all the answers within you. You keep tapping in, feeling into what's your truth, and believe in yourself, and just keep trusting yourself.
Wow.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to head out. Ra, back to you.
Thank you,
Beautiful,
Brittany.
beautiful. Brittany, thank you for taking the time out, and you're late, so go ahead. We will see you next Thursday. So, Linda, again, thank you for taking the time out. And what you said, everything comes together. Like I put it this way, as you said, synchronicity, right? That comes together when you had that time when it came, right? You came today and you told this story, and only about 2 days ago, I think it was on it was Tuesday. Our guest for next week is Ada, and she wrote some stuff, and like exactly I know what she's bringing and coming to talk about. You just ended it right there, and she's like about to continue it. Like the energy just flows, as you said. It brings the right thing that they get a continuing story with a different soul, as you would put it. And I love this. Thank you
Exactly.
for taking this time and doing
Yeah.
this. I
My
cannot wait
pleasure.
to re-listen to this again and get it a second time. And actually, you look out for your clips because we will clip it up, especially that part where you were doing the BENN Method, and we'll put it out there for everyone on Facebook, Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. We are Mr. Trauma Talks. All our amazing rosters and Obscuram Nights, our amazing listeners on our podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, iTunes, wherever you listen to this podcast or live stream. We want to thank you for joining us week after week. Linda, thanks again. God bless you. And every one of
My
you, have a
pleasure.
great night. Thank you all.
Much love and blessings to everyone out